Hey, hey, the mic is on. Good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode 407. Happy Saturday. Welcome to the weekend. It's card show day, the first of many to come. So today I have an objective as I hit the road from Milwaukee. I'm going to the Oak Creek, Wisconsin show held at the Salvation Army in Oak Creek. My budget today, $100, and I'm going to share what's my objective for my $100 budget today at the card show. Before I get to my card show objective, yesterday I did hit some retail. Now, I said I wasn't going to go hopping around store to store looking for Topps Update. However, I did go jumping around from store to store yesterday, but it wasn't in search of Topps Update. It was mainly in search of penny sleeves because you could get a good price on penny sleeves at Walmart. Now they have the 1,000 packs. Unfortunately, I struck out looking for penny sleeves, but here's the background of my retail chase Friday. What's up, Zach? Good morning. Mine is 25. Porter's is $15. See you soon. I'm meeting Zach and Porter at the show today. Gonna be awesome. I felt like I've known Zach and Porter for forever, and we've never actually met. So this is gonna be our first in-person meeting. So looking forward to that. So yesterday I hopped around from retail to retail. It all began in the morning. What's up, Diego? Good morning. It all began yesterday, Friday morning. My buddy Ryan sent me a message, said, hey, the Walmart is stocked. And he sent me a picture. And there were Bowman Chrome mega boxes on the shelf. Now, this particular Walmart everything's been at the customer service desk over the last several months, and it's been a limit one per. If it's a hanger box or a mega box, no difference. You only get one. So this is the first time in several months cards have actually been on the shelf. So this, and I timed. I'm a nerd with numbers and timing. I timed it 8 minutes from my driveway to the front door at Walmart. 8 minutes, got in there. The 4 boxes were still there. So I bought the 4 Bowman Chrome mega boxes. There was no Topps Update. I would have bought Topps Update if it was there. There was not, there was not any supplies. They had Donruss Optic. They had Prism Baseball. They had a whole bunch of stuff. But I was only interested in the Bowman Chrome mega boxes and any supplies if they. So I bought my 4 Bowman Chrome mega boxes. This is kind of my Bowman Chrome mega box is kind of a long play. We're in like the worst baseball selling time right now. So I have really no interest in opening those, which is good because I think they will increase in value by next baseball season. So I'm sitting on a bunch of sealed Bowman mega boxes. I think I still have a dozen of the regular Bowman mega boxes, and I probably have maybe 15 of the Bowman Chrome mega boxes and my crappy Bowman Chrome hobby box that I had a terrible break on the others. So just keeping those sealed until next baseball season. So I came home and I did open one. There was one that was like beat up, and those are always the good ones. That's where all the hits are. And actually it was a good one. There was a blue refractor, Mojo refractor, Yoelqui Cespedes, numbered to 150 in that box. So that was based on recent comps, that would pay for the box. I think and this is what's really funny about eBay auctions. 2 have sold at eBay auction within the last, it's only been out for 3 weeks or whatever. So 2 have sold via auction. One was like $40. The other was like $13. Same. Now, the one that was $40, now you can say, well, it was numbered 1 of 150, which there might be a premium on a 1 of 150 or a 150 of 150 or jersey number, but not that much of a difference. So I looked at the timing. So the cheaper one sold at auction on like a Saturday morning or a Saturday afternoon at like 5 p.m. And the other one sold, the higher priced one sold at auction on a Monday morning, and the end time was like 10 a.m. So it really kind of throws that out of the water. And they both ended like around, I can't remember which sold. I actually think the lesser priced card sold before because it was Saturday, and the higher price sold the following Monday. So I don't, that's why I hate auctions. And I don't know if it was in this chat a couple days ago. I think it was. And I'm like, or maybe it was on Twitter. I'm like, I don't like auctions. Because weird things like that, like it's not a fair comp. People say, well, auction is what somebody will pay for it. That's wrong. It's who sees that auction in that period of time. A lot of people, it only takes two to create a bidding war. And those two people that really want that Yoelqui Cespedes may not have seen the one ending on Saturday, but they jumped on eBay on Sunday or Monday, and they're like, I want that card. I have to have that card. And now they're going to look at the last comp, and it's like, well, it's a $12 card. No, I value it more than that. And all of a sudden, 2 days later, you've got a much higher comp. So I hate auctions. I just, I talked about here, I think Bowman Chrome mega boxes. I'm going to do some 24-hour auctions, but no, I hate auctions. I'm just going to do a buy it now and ride or die. George, what's up, George? Good morning. Good evening to you. What are you doing on here so early? What are you selling? So, so the reason I'm on early on a Saturday, I'm heading to Milwaukee for a card show. So I'm going to take off. Actually, Zach, I'm pulling together some cards for you and Porter. And then I'm going to hit the Atom, get some cash out. Then I'm going to hit Dunkin' Donuts, hash browns. And then I'm going to drive over to Oak Creek. I've never been over there. I'm on extra early for a Saturday. So that's my card show objective. Oh, I haven't talked about bouncing. That was my Bowman Chrome Mega Box. So that's how the bouncing around from store to store started. In the afternoon, I had to make my post office run. It was Friday, so I'm like, I'm going to treat myself to some junk food for lunch. So I hit the McDonald's drive-through. They were out of soda. The McDonald's was out of soda, like all soda. Like the only drink you could purchase were High C and Powerade. I find that super bizarre. I mean, that's like KFC being out of chicken, out of a fast food restaurant, out of soda. Usually I call it pop, by the way, but for some reason I'm calling it soda, probably because that's what the sign said. We're all out of soda. I like the word pop better. Another word that I used to despise as a child was dinner. I hated. I had one friend in particular, my friend Chuck, and he would call the nighttime meal dinner. And I'm like, it's not dinner, it's supper. And now as an adult, I despise the word supper. Like for some reason, that word just grates on me. And now it's lunch, it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But when I hear the word supper, I don't know why. It triggers me for some reason. It's really bizarre. I don't know why. Dude, I've been to McDonald's here and they were out of beef, only had chicken. That's on par. That's on par with being out of pop/soda. So I hit the drive-through on my way to the post office. There's a Target on my way. I went into Target. They had Topps Update. They had a bunch of hanger boxes, no blasters, but a bunch of hanger boxes. And this is how disinterested, and I talked about it yesterday morning. I'm like, I'm not going to go out of my way to buy Topps Update. I'm not going to go from store to store looking for Topps Update. I'm not going to buy it online. I didn't even buy it when it was in front of me. I went up and there was a bunch of hanger boxes, and it's like, I don't really want it. By this point, I had already planned on going to multiple, I was going to hit another Target and then a second Walmart. So and possibly a third Walmart, which I ended up hitting. So I'm like, I'm sure if this Target has Topps Update, I'll find it at one of the other stores right now I just want to get my McDonald's double cheeseburger and Coke. McDonald's Coke is like the best, and they didn't have any. So I walked out empty-handed, passed up on Top's update, went, got my burger, dropped off mail at the post office, went to the second Target store. It was disheveled. There was some hockey, and that was it. So I left empty-handed at that store. I don't think he had been in to stock it. So I then proceeded to the second Walmart of the day. Is that right? Yeah, second Walmart of the day. And it looked like it had been stocked. And here's the funny thing. This particular Walmart previously had no limits on trading cards. The other Walmart that I went to was a limit one. Now they've transposed the two. Good morning, Herman. So the first Walmart I went to, which was formerly limit one, is now unlimited. The second Walmart that I'm here in the afternoon, now there's signs everywhere, limit two, and it was previously unlimited. They had Bowman Platinum, of course. They did have a blaster box, a lone blaster box of WWE Topps Chrome, which I found interesting. I almost picked it up. I thought about it, and then I'm like, again, I just, They had the Walmarts, like every Walmart around here has the complete sets. There was some hockey. There was some other stuff. No penny sleeves, no Bowman mega boxes. So I'm like, well, I'm this far. I might as well go to the third Walmart, which is another, and here's the nerd timing, 11 minutes from Walmart to the other Walmart. So my third Walmart of the day, it didn't look like it had been stocked. But there was, I think the only sports they had was hockey. And then they had like binder pages. I mean, I could put cards in, they had enough binder pages for my Cubs collection. They were all over the place, but no baseball. So then I considered going to a third Target store. But by this point it was like 2:30. I wanted to get back and update, do some more eBay listing. So I struck out on, and I drove, and here's how, and here I doubled down on my disinterest for Topps update. It was there in front of me when I was in the cart aisle, when I walked into the store, but didn't buy any. I drove right past that Target store on my way home and had no interest. Like, I didn't find it anywhere else. I don't want it. So there was Topps update. I had no interest. So I passed it up. So out of all those travels, 4 mega boxes of Bowman Chrome was all I picked up. But guess what? That's way more better than penny sleeves or Topps update or anything else. So it was a success, even though I struck out at 2 Targets and 2 Walmarts. I did hit up and pick up 4 Bowman Chrome mega boxes. So that was a win. It was a retail win. A shutout in the afternoon, but a win in the morning. Diego says, I must have a lot of collectors in my neck of the woods because I don't find anything. We're in the same boat here. I'm like super like fortunate in, like, I can, like, Ryan texted me and I got the message from him. I literally got up, put my shoes on, grabbed my keys, and drove 8 minutes to Walmart. So I'm fortunate in that respect. And we have a lot of retail. I did the minutes to the one Walmart that's way out. I thought it was like 45 minutes away. It's only like 20. How long was it? I think 25 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes, I think. The other Walmart that I thought was like 20 to 30 minutes is only 15. So really within 30 minutes, there's 3 Walmarts and 3 Targets within 30 minutes. There might be a 4th Target that's within a 30-minute range, but I never go to that one. but there is another one over there by the far Walmart. Ryan is the man at finding them. Yeah, Ryan is ripping one-handed. He is, man, he is on it. He's my he lives just a few miles away from me, and every Friday morning he's like, "Hey, this is stocked," and sometimes I go, sometimes I don't. Depends on what there is. He hits I know Barnes and Noble, or Barnes and Noble store stock tops update this week, so I think he picked up some on Wednesday or Thursday. So he's on it. So yeah, he's my go-to. Hey, has this store been stocked? So I got home. Yesterday I actually over exceeded my expectations on eBay listings. My goal was just 100 to 150. And I was doing football yesterday because I just wanted to keep above my average sales per day is around like 45. So I want to make sure I'm getting more than that listed on a daily basis. So I was hammering them out in the afternoon. And then it's like, maybe I should do some more tonight because I won't have, so I'm doing the card show today. And then as soon as I get back, getting ready, going out to dinner tonight. So it's a full day. I won't have any chance to list items. So that's a day where I need to find 45 cards to replace what I'm going to sell. So I wanted to make sure to keep above covering the day off. So I ended up listing, what did I list? Like 350. I got 350 football cards listed, a lot of prism color, a lot of rookies, and like last year's rookies like Jerry Jeudy, Chase Claypool, CeeDee Lamb, and we're talking $1.50 a card shipped. Some of the colors are like $2, so super cheap. Check out the eBay store, 99centcards.com, or go to my website, 1millioncubs.com, and in the link to my eBay store is there. If you buy 3 or more items, it's 10% off. That's automatic at checkout. So 350 football cards added yesterday. So won't have any added today, but I did. I set aside about 100 that are ready to be scanned. So Sunday, I'll try to get 100 to 150 listed on Sunday. It just kind of depends. Being out today, I won't have like any time to ship. Those shipments are really adding up. So Sunday will definitely be a heavy shipping day. Diego says, I went into the site, ended up getting wrestling. Thanks, Diego. Those wrestling cards were shipped out yesterday. Really appreciate it. I apologize for not, usually I put a note in if it's somebody I recognize. And I had already sealed the bubble mailer. So I was going to put a note in there for you. And I had already seen sometimes. And what happens is I get going so fast in shipping that I just, I'm so used. It's kind of like you're hypnotized, like, 9 times out of 10, I don't know the person. And, if it's in like a 4-state area, I'll put my Madison Card Show business card in there. Sometimes I'll put the 1 million Cubs card in there. So I've kind of got this routine going, and it's like, oh, Diego, I've got to write a note. And then all of a sudden I just keep going, and it's like, oh crap, I forgot to put a note in Diego's envelope. So thank you. Appreciate that. So I think that's all of the business I had to talk about for Friday. Today I'm going to Milwaukee, Oak Creek, Wisconsin, the Salvation Army card show. I've never been. I've heard a lot about it. I've had a lot of friends that have gone and said it's a great show. The great guy bought the batter up Billy Herm from him at my show last month. First met him at the Rockford show last month. So looking forward to his show. Just going as a buyer walking the floor. So today's objective. Normally I just go into a card show and I just I don't have a budget. And I know that sounds silly, but when I was doing this as a side hustle, I didn't really, I had a card account, and it was just like, this is all the money I've made from selling cards. I'm going to buy what I want. And like the National, I had a number. And I was right around that number. I can't remember if I exceeded it by just a small percent or if I went under, but it was basically right around target for everything. That's travel, meals, hotel, like everything. I had a set number that I wanted to spend. Um, so um, Now that it's a business and I really have to watch more closely every penny I spend, now I'm going in with a budget and a plan for a card show, which is actually kind of fun. I find this like a game. Like, what can what can I do with this $100? And it's a game. So I'm actually getting some joy where it's like last week it's like, man, I'm going to a card show, but I can't buy Cubs cards. Like normally I go to a show and it's like, ooh, if I find, sometimes I'll just come back with a stack of 25-cent cards. Sometimes I'll come back with a few tobacco cards. But I'm finding this like, this is kind of, it's like a game. It's fun. Zach says 1 million Cubs Bo writes a note. Bargain box Bo is all business. That's right. So bargain box Bo, that's the objective today. That is the objective. $100 budget, bargain boxes. And so I'm going to go in, and Zach and Porter, we're going to hang out at the bargain boxes, hopefully. And I'm going to look for deal. Like I'm not even going to tempt myself by looking for like the pre-war tables. Although Tony does have pre-war, and I will have to say hi. There's some other vintage guys that I know. But I'm going to go in and focus on the bargain boxes, the 25-cent bins, and what can I buy? That's a lot of cards for $100, but I've got to really maximize the return here. So, card show objective, $100. I'm hitting the bargain boxes and I'm being strategic. Now, does that mean I won't be buying any Cubs? I'm gonna try not to, but if there are Cubs that are, and typically when I hit bargain boxes, and usually I'm looking for both Cubs and cards that I can flip. When I look for Cubs in a bar box, typically the only ones I buy are color, like Bowman colors, serial numbers, and the like. Because if it's a base, I likely already have about 20 of them. So I'm not going to spend any additional money on something I have 20 cards of already. So if I do come across like Bowman colors, serial numbers, or anything like that in a Cubs uniform, I will buy that for my personal collection. But the goal is with my $100 for flip opportunities out of those 25-cent. Maybe I'll get wild and look through a dollar box. Really spend the big bucks. George Washington's Let It Rain. Dude, when you have a budget, you make much smarter decisions for your collection. Impulse buys are rare. I enjoy it more because I have to appreciate what I can get. It's also helped me teach Pete. And what I've found is when I do impulse buys, one leads to another. And you get that adrenaline rush where when I bought, when I, and it was somewhat planned at the National when I bought some tobacco cards, but it's like I found a booth and all of a sudden I'm dropping a lot of money on some pre-war tobacco Cubs cards. And then all of a sudden it's like, that was fun. I want to do it again. And you go to another table and you slap down a lot of money, and it just, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I've hit my budget. So having that budget, having that restraint will be fun. So that's the card show objective. Pretty simple, $100 budget, hitting the bargain boxes, looking for flips. And I guess I will add, you may ask, what do you look for in a bargain box? And nothing in particular. And that's when I'm bargain box Bo. I have bargain boxes when I set up as a vendor, and I ask people, what are you looking for? And most of them say, nothing in particular. And that's exactly my approach as a buyer at a bargain box. I'm looking for deals. I'm digging for deals. Um, so I'm looking for a lot of my successes in the bargain box have been um, first Bowman chromes, first Bowman papers, not so much because the papers don't, there's a much higher premium on the chromes. I pulled out, and I think was it Quinn Priester? I think it was Quinn Priester. He's a pitcher for the Pirates. And I pulled like 12 first chromes, even though he's a pitcher. I've pulled like first, like a dozen or 15 first chromes of him, and they sold for $6-7 a pop. Um, like in like the next week. And it wasn't like I sat on them for a year. Like it was like immediate. Like I probably bought them for 10 to 20 cents in bulk because I bought so many 25-cent cards. So even 20 cents, flipping them for $5 to $7. So those are some of the things. First chromes are the best. Depending on the player, I'll do paper. If it's a high ranked prospect, I'll look for paper. But if it was Quinn Priester in a paper, I probably would pass it by. So that's something I've had a lot of success with. Base rookie cards of some underrated players. Sometimes it's the small flip. Randy Johnson 89 Fleer because of the Marlboro, and I'll pick those up all day for a quarter because the base corrected version where it's just the black bar, I can sell that for $1.50 shipped out of my eBay store. So it's a slim margin on 25 cents. Slim margin, but it's still a worthwhile. Like it's not going to sit in a box forever. But if you find like sometimes there's a red tint, and I don't even take the time because I know even the corrected black box version, I'm going to make some profit. So I'll just grab and at the National, I grabbed like a stack of 10 or 15. They were right in a row, and two of them were the Marlboro variation, which sold for $25 each. So I spent about $2 on a stack of Randy Johnson 89 Fleer. I sold all of the corrected versions for about $1.50. And then the two and I think one was the red tint version. It sold for like $8. So I mean, I turned $2 into like 70 on the Randy Johnson 89 Fleer. The card pile is with us. Good morning. I'm going to go back to George. Big Money Bo going to come out with 103 cards today. You looking for them Austin Riley rookies, quarter each. The card that sets off the spidey senses. I'm going to walk a floor humming George's intro song. Yeah, exactly. If you don't know by now, then you should probably get familiar. I love that song, man. Every time. I'm glad you're doing videos again because I can hear that song. It's like, oh, I remember that. So yeah, so those are some of the things that I look for in the 25-cent boxes. Same with the dollar boxes. It's just kind of a lot of times, like in the dollar boxes, you'll find vintage, and I'll pull like a 71 Topps Thurman Munson that's banged up, and it still sells for $5 to $10. I pulled a Trey Turner. What was the Trey Turner? I think it was a first Bowman Chrome Trey Turner, and that sold for $10. And I pulled that out of a dollar box. So yeah, so those are some of the things that I'm looking for. I really want to do a video as I'm looking through a box, and maybe I'll do that today. In fact, I'm going to grab my little stand, my little tripod, and maybe I'll do a video like as I'm looking through the boxes, because and again, it's kind of like you get in this. It's like when I'm shipping. It's like when I forget to write Diego a note in his eBay package. It's like automatic, just looking at cards. It's like, oh shoot. And sometimes I'll snap a picture. Here's what I'm doing. But I would like to do a video because I want to do, since I did this video, my objective now, hey, put the money where your mouth is. What's that saying? Put your mouth where your money is. Put your money where your mouth is. Whatever that is. So I'll have to come back and share my successes or failures tomorrow or Monday. So that's what I had for today. I'm going to pull some more Sox cards for you and Porter. I've got to get my backpack prepared, my supplies, and hit the ATM and the Dunkin' Donuts. So have a great Saturday. Enjoy your day. Zach, I'll see you in a couple hours, and I'll recap the show tomorrow morning. Have a great weekend.